Hi, this is Nancy Thompson, the 8 Weeks to Wellness Director at the Springfield Wellness Center. And if you're looking not just to live a long life, but a healthy long life, I think it's a great idea to look at the populations of people who are already doing it. There's zones around the world that are called blue zones. And the project was actually begun by Dan Buettner for the National Geographic story. But what came out of it was actually a way to live. And these blue zones around the world are where people that are aging gracefully. They're doing it with great health and living well past their 80s and 90s, even to 100. These blue zones are hotspots, longevity hotspots around the world, include Okinawa, Japan, Icaria, Greece, Sardinia, Italy, Nicoya, Costa Rica, and Loma Linda, California. So they're spread around the world, but what commonalities are there in these populations that give them great life where they're living near 100, many of the folks in those populations? It was drilled down to actually nine commonalities that all these different areas around the world had. But we're gonna even drill it down farther, and we can take it into 4 lessons or 4 lifestyle habits that you could create for yourself, for you to have your own blue zone in your life. The first one, and these aren't going to be terribly surprising, is move naturally. The groups of people who lived to 100 weren't running marathons. They weren't pounding weights or racing in triathlons. They were moving as a part of their daily life. They walked to where they needed to go, or maybe rode a bike. They worked in the garden. They, depending on where they lived, just had more laborious jobs or didn't have as many conveniences as we have that were common to us. So move naturally, make movement a part of your life. The second one is eat wisely. Again, not big news, but what was it with these around the world was common with this these different populations of people? It was found that as far as what they ate is important. Plant-based, whole foods was very common. Depending on where they lived, of course, it was different. But beans was the cornerstone. Legumes was the cornerstone of the diets. Okinawans ate lots of soybeans in the form of tofu. That made up most of their protein or calories in their meals. The Nicoyans in Costa Rica ate and grew a lot of what they ate, but black beans was the cornerstone of their diet. So plant-based was definitely a way to go. Meat, they had it infrequently, and when they did have it, it was a small volume. So plant-based, eating till you're only 80% full. The Okinawans use a Confucian mantra called Hara Hachibu, which was something they'd repeat to themselves before they ate to remind themselves to eat only to 80% full. So not that they were restricting, they felt satisfied, but that's maybe something we could take hold of and think about being mindful when we eat and eating only to when we're satisfied and not stuffed or full. They also enjoyed alcohol. Very common. The only group that didn't was the Seventh-day Adventists in Loma Linda, California, as a way of practicing their religion. But every other population used some sort of enjoyment with alcohol, usually with friends or food. But again, that's something when you're considering eating wisely, that's okay to do, again, as long as you're doing it in moderation. Thirdly, they had a right outlook. And that can include certainly these people, even over the age of 80 or 90, had a reason to get up in the morning. They had a purpose. So know why you're living every day and be happy about it. And then along with that, they took time to relax and reflect. So not only do they were busy and they had a purpose every day, but then they also took time intentionally to relax and reflect. And then fourthly, they had a right tribe. And what that means, it encompasses a lot of things, but it means they hung around with people they loved and they invested in them. Typically it was family. They spent time with their children and grandchildren, but they also had groups of people that supported them through their lives. And also 98% of these centenarians who were researched were part of a faith-based community. Didn't matter what denomination. So we have 4 things that maybe you could employ, or at least one of them for now, to help you live healthier life, but maybe even create your own blue zone. If you found this information helpful, please share it with your friends. This is Nancy Thompson, your 8 Weeks to Wellness Director.